Hello everybody, this is Mean Gene Okerlund and we are here for the Mr. Hornsby 83 show, the build to Halloween figure Havoc. And today we are going to hear from the number one contender for the WCW United States Heavyweight title. We're going to hear from the World Wrestling Federation champion, The Rock. We're going to hear from the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Ravishing Rick Rude, and we are also going to hear from the United States Heavyweight Champion, Bam Bam Bigelow. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first is the number one contender for the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship, Sid. So, Sid, last time we saw you, you and Macho Man were teaming up to take on the Outsiders. That endeavor was not successful for you. But since then, you and the Macho Man have had a falling out, and you are going after the United States Heavyweight Championship. So what do you got to say about that? First of all, Mean Gene, Bam Bam Bigelow has been out here running his mouth ever since he won that U.S. title, saying he could beat anybody and he was gonna he could go through anybody with no problem. Well, I'll tell you what, Bam Bam Bigelow, when I won a shot at that U.S. Heavyweight Championship, I want to make sure it was you that was champion, because I'm gonna show you why. Sid Vicious is the master and ruler of the world, and at Halloween Figure Havoc, I will walk out the new WCW United States Heavyweight Champion, because I am the master and ruler of the world, and I am the Millennium Man. Oh, very fired up Sid Vicious. He's ready for his match with Bam Bam Bigelow at Halloween Figure Havoc. These are the matches I'm replacing the Undertaker match with and the Vader Great Muta match with. Those matches will still happen. I'll talk about those at the end. Alright, now here comes the United States Heavyweight Champion, Bam Bam Bigelow. So Bam Bam Bigelow, you just heard your opponent, Sid Vicious. Very short and sweet. He said he's taking that U.S. title from you at Halloween Figure Havoc. You know something, Sid? You've been running around running your mouth ever since you became the number one contender for the United States Heavyweight Championship. But here's the deal, Sid, I am walking in as United States Heavyweight Champion, and I am walking out as the United States Heavyweight Champion, because Sid, every person that's challenged me for this title ever since I won it have fell at the wayside. And Sid, you're the next person who's going to fall at the wayside, because you will be another victim of Bam Bam Bigelow. Alright, well, we heard from the U.S. Heavyweight Champion. Now we are getting ready to hear from we are getting ready to hear from the World Wrestling Federation about a change, from the World Wrestling Federation champion about a change to his title match come Halloween Figure Havoc. So Rock, whoa. First of all, Mean Gene Okerlund, know your role, shut your mouth, and get your candy ass out of here. Very well then. Now, before we get in to the World Wrestling Federation title match between me and a new number one contender, I gotta say, finally, The Rock has come back to the Mr. Hornsby 83 show. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, or in case you've been living under a rock or anything, you know that at a local house show, the Big Slow got his candy ass injured, so he will not be cleared in time to face me at Halloween Figure Havoc. So then they did another thing where they did a battle royal where The Rock would face whoever won that battle royal. And unfortunately for the chump, who won that battle royal, Mr. Milk and Cookies, Milk and Cookies, Milk and Cookies, Kurt Angle's Rudy Poo Candy Ass is the #1 contender for The Rock's WWF Championship. So Kurt Angle, let me say this. At Halloween Figure Havoc, The Rock is going to go in there. He's going to lay up the smack it down on your Rudy Poo Candy Ass. And then after I do that, I'm going to hit you with a rock bottom, pin your sorry ass, and walk out still World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. And then you can go have your milk and cookies, and you could smile, and you could do your stupid piece of commercials, or whatever the hell you want to do. Because one thing's for sure, after Halloween Figure Havoc, The Rock, after Halloween Figure Havoc, you will not be World Wrestling Federation Champion, because I'm going to whip your Rudy Poo Candy Ass. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Yep, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Big Show at a live event injured himself, and we got The Rock and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle won the Battle Royal to get the shot here. Next up, we are going to have a word with the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Ravishing Rick Rude. So, Ravishing Rick Rude, ever since you've won that NWA World Heavyweight title, a lot of people said it's been very questionable. You've been comparing yourself to great former world champions like Harley Race, Ric Flair, and all that. And now, at Halloween Figure Havoc on October 10th, you have a chance to face a guy you can comparing yourself to. And that's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. That's right, Mean Gene. The Ravishing One has been unstoppable since I beat Sting for the NWA World Heavyweight. I beat Sting so bad, we haven't seen him since Clash of the Figures earlier this year. Well, he suffered a concussion and he's been out for... It doesn't matter what the excuse is. The fact of the matter is, every guy they put in front of me, I've came out and I've beaten and I've retained my NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Yes, you have proven yourself to be a true blue world champion, but you still did not beat Sting fair and square. Shut your mouth, Mean Gene, because the fact of the matter is, I'm about to slap that goofy mustache off your face if you keep insulting the Ravishing One the way you are. I got lawyers. I don't give a damn about your lawyers. But here's the fact of the matter. Ric Flair, you were great back in the late 70s and the 80s, but the fact of the matter is, you're washed up, you're a has-been, you will never be a top guy ever again, the way the Ravishing One is. And Flair, I'm gonna beat the living hell out of you at Halloween Figure Havoc, and I am going to walk in NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm gonna walk out NWA World Heavyweight Champion, because unlike that pretty boy, punk ass bitch Ric Flair, the Ravishing One is a real man, unlike you, Flair. And once I beat you and all the sweat hogs are crying that I beat you, then I will show people why I am now the greatest NWA World Champion. Now, wait a minute. I just got word that Ric Flair will have a big announcement on next week's build to Halloween Figure Havoc. What do you got to say about that? I don't give a rat's ass what Flair's big announcement is next week, because it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to beat him, and I'm going to take my title home, and I'm going to celebrate with more ladies than that guy ever had. And you know what? I don't need Viagra to keep the ravishing stallion up. Whoa, very, very edgy promo there by Ravishing Rick Rude. Alright, next up is a man who, due to an injury, had to sit on the sideline for nearly a year. And he's vowed to take revenge on the man that calls it, ladies and gentlemen, the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So Stone Cold Steve Austin, it was about a year ago that Triple H damaged both your knees. You also had to get a spinal fusion neck surgery to fix your neck. And since then, Triple H has been running all over the WWF and all that. What do you got to say about that? Well, the bottom line is this. Stone Cold Steve Austin is back. And Triple H, that sorry son of a bitch, he might have injured me and put me out for over a year. But the fact of the matter is, one thing was on my mind when I got to come back and I got cleared to come back to wrestle, because I also had to deal with my neck injuries and shit. But all I heard was Triple H running his mouth about how he put me on the shelf. Running his mouth about how he made Stone Cold Steve Austin sit out. He even tried to question my balls, that I was scared of him because he busted up my knees a little bit. Well, the fact of the matter is, son, at Halloween Figure Havoc, I'm going to whip your sorry ass. And after I whip his sorry ass, I'm going to set my sights on the WWF Championship. Whether The Rock has it, whether Kurt Angle has it, Stone Cold Steve Austin don't give a damn. Because I want to be World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion again. And Triple H, after I beat your ass and I do to you what you did to me last year, son, you're going to be sitting on the sideline for a while thinking, oh boy, that old Stone Cold sure beat the hell out of me, because I'm going to open up the biggest can of whoop ass you've ever seen on your sorry ass. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so, you stupid son of a bitch. Very pissed off, angry Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anyway, tune in next week for more build to Halloween Figure Havoc, and we will hear from Ric Flair with his big announcement. We will also hear from the new #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight title, Kurt Angle. We will also be hearing from Triple H about what Stone Cold just said about him. But the big thing is Ric Flair's big announcement. So anyway, until next week, catch you guys later. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Mr. Hornsby A3's reaction to the Halloween game announcement. Catch you guys later. Peace out.